Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Z, episode 392. I'm Chris Adams, I'm Second Master, joined by.
RPG Maniac 05.
And Traptical.
So, I've got so much been playing. Is current gen the greatest generation ever? If
Or
not,
is it?
which one is? Who knows?
I know.
And news and stuff.
Or is it?
So, yeah, I haven't played any more Radiant Historia. I keep wanting to play when I'm home, but then I'm like, I think that might end up happening because it's like I'm kind of. I mean, it's weird because Monster Hunter is the gift that keeps on giving. So I was like, okay, well, we're done with the Spring Blossom Fest almost, and DMC stuff's about to be here. It's like, what's anything else coming down the pipeline? Man, there is some stuff coming down the pipeline. And I was like, oh well, never mind, because unlike the other games, it's a terrible failure that I guess I'll talk about because I did play a bit of Destiny 2, but.
Oh,
You
why?
know, I needed my sweet samurai armor because, well, it's okay. Here's the thing: is originally it was like it's just ornamentations. I look like a samurai, whatever. That's cool. I mean, I really look awesome. But then it's like after seeing Ready Player One, it just on a meta level, on or just like a personal level. I guess just like a personal problem now. It's just like I think of that movie and I think of that game because I've played so much, and then I can't separate the two. So I'm like, from around that game, I want to be looking like a samurai because I can be like, oh man, it's kind of like Ready for One, but it's like it's not. It's like as close as I can get, but not really. But whatever, man. It's like whatever. So I boot up. I mean, and it is Iron Banner 6 versus 6. So I want to try that out and see how terrible it is. It's not that bad. I mean, it is a lot of yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be.
Like, what did they do? Did they put... It's the same maps with just more people?
Pretty much. I mean, it's not all the maps. It's just some of the maps. Because I haven't seen all the maps. But then again, I guess it's because it doesn't have all the DLC maps. So, but yeah, just playing maps with 2 extra people on each team, and it's pretty much just that. I mean, there are issues with some spawns, as you would think. So that's the whole thing. But I mean, I also didn't play after the Go Fast update, so. But it's weird because the way the power ammo works now is like if you kill someone, and I think it's if they haven't used it, they drop their power ammo and you can pick it up. But you have 30 seconds before it despawns. So that's a neat thing that they've done. That feels. I don't know. It's honestly it's just Destiny 2. It's just I just want to get my armor ornamentations and I've kind of just been mindlessly grinding. I've felt some of that stuff, but it's like at the end of the day I was just like I just want to get this thing. But then, Destiny 2 being Destiny 2, it's like one of the things is get melee and grenade kills, and it's like I'm 30% there. I played with 6 hours or something stupid today. I don't know. I played a very long time today. It's like I know I was gonna regret it, and I regret it. That being said, I didn't have anything else to do today, so it's like whatever, dude. I'm gonna get my sweet samurai ornamentations, and
Second, I'm very, very disappointed in you.
I mean DLC is about to
More
drop,
so than
so I kind
usual.
of have to get myself whatchamacallited conditioned
More so
that.
than usual.
And yeah. So that was that. Did some of that, and then Gamer messaged me like, "Hey guys, we do Nightfall." I was like, "Dude, I am just getting Iron Banner stuff. I'm not doing anything else in this game except for Iron Banner," which is kind of weird because it's like of all the things I would do in that game, I'm jumping in and playing PvP all day, and it's very much a situation. That being said,
Oh my.
at the end of the day, I'll look like a sweet look like a samurai in sweet armor, so it'll be worth it, and I can be like, yeah, it's kind of like in Ready Player One, woo, and just think to myself. After the expansion comes out, and we're playing it for a couple weeks for Advantage again. Man, isn't this great? We're just like the high five. Yeah. Monster Hunter World, Spring Blossom Festival. Got all the thingies. Got the sword. Got the advanced version of the sword. Got the Palico armor. Oh, and the Mega Man armor came out. That was cool. That was that gotta say, that was man. This effing game, man. It's just. A plus Capcom, Monster Hunter Team, whoever works on that stuff, because it just keeps on giving, and it's all free. It's like
It is all free.
and then
yes.
it's like I go back to play Destiny 2. I'm like, why Destiny? Why? Like you're the chosen one. You're the chosen one, and then you just decided to be like, I'm gonna put microtransactions, and you're gonna. I'm gonna nickel and dime you all across the galaxy and rule forever or something. And I was like, no, I can't go down this path with you. You're hurting me. And then you're like, oh yeah, Tekken. Well, and he did the whole force choke thing. And I was like, I can't breathe.
my.
Someone save me. And then Monster Hunter World was like, I got you. And it's like, yeah, if only a Sith speaks in absolutes. If you're, and then you did the whole thing where like you cut their legs off, and I was like, Destiny 2, no, and then they melted into the lava, and I was like,
I
no,
am so
no.
confused on what's happening right now. Like, I only got like part of that, mostly because I did finally see the Star Wars movies, but now I'm like, I don't. I think he might have saw a different movie than I did, so I'm very confused.
And then Activision came down, and they're like, there's my new apprentice. We have DLC coming soon. The Warmind. It might work, but it probably won't. We'll see. So I guess we'll see how that goes. And stuff. But yeah, Monster Hunter World.
So confused.
I got to Hunter rank 149. I can be like, yay, 150 once I get there, because it's a big number. Not that it means anything after 100, really. It's, just a number. I mean, I guess it's like you get more investigations per thingy that you pick up, and all the thingy. Okay, I'm sorry. Per track that you pick up, you get more investigations, and then like the items in the field, like the mushrooms and the herbs and the honey, all that stuff, you get more of them. I noticed that like the higher you get more of those as you are doing your gathering. I was like, oh, I get like 3 things now. That's great. So that's nice. I mean, that being said, I have an ancient tree that just grows me crap, and it's great, so I kind of don't need everyone. It's like sometimes you're in the field, and you're like, I need some thingies because I use some mega potions, I can't get back to camp. Oh, I'm in the middle of a fight. So it's, it's very useful. Oh, I made a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but I made a mix set, and then I made like a bunch of that with like a weapon type. Like, so I have like a specific build with like a bunch of different variants on it. And then, I'm gonna go back and like look at a bunch of YouTube videos. Cause I'm not gonna bother doing this myself because it's like, dude, that is like way too much work. And like, someone already did the work. I can just copy what they did. Like, it's the internet age. That's what we do. It's like, I'm just gonna do YouTube, and I mean, I don't do this all the time, but it's like when I do, it's when I'm playing a game like this, and it's like class builds, optimize the loadouts. Would I like to spend time doing this and like time down the tube? Because Tekken is a like, it's hard out there for Tekken, and like, my life is like trickling away every day, and it's like I would like to, get the most out of it and not just like waste it away and like be like, oh man, let me try this out, let me try this out, let me try this. It's like let's just cut out all the guesswork and be like click 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 click
But
click click
half
click
the fun is figuring that stuff out on your own
eh.
and playing around and experimenting.
But when I see a thingy and I'm like, oh, I like that, I'll try that, and it's like there's like a bunch of thingies out there, and it's like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I could pick so many of them, but then it's like I know what I like, so it's like I can just go to the stuff I like and use that, and not be like, not all these other ones I'm seeing out here, and like, oh, that looks neat, but that's not for me, so it's like, eh. I still haven't tried the other weapons too, so it's like, and they keep having new monsters and stuff, so it's like I can't even switch like from longsword, so it's like I'm kind of just on longsword and haven't tried anything else still, so it's like it's pretty crazy. I've like got like 600 something plus or something weird. It's crazy number. I'm gonna be at like 1,000, and like, yeah, I did like 1,000 longsword quests, and I haven't even switched weapons. It's just silly Tekken. So eventually I'll try. I mean, I've done like Sword and Shield and like the arena stuff that's got loadouts, but I mean, if I wish that you had like New Game Plus it and just like play through again, and I could just like do every weapon through like all the things. I mean, you can just do optional quests, like, but it's like my brain needs to have like that feedback loop of like I'm playing through the game again, and like having the story cutscene and all that stuff play, and like not just be like, oh, I'll just play a quest and like see what this is like, whatever. So but yeah, Mega Man, that was cool. It's very awesome because it's like they mapped all the Palico movements to the Mega Man skin. So even though it looks like Mega Man, it moves like a Palico, and I was like, oh, that's kind of adorable. That's kind of weird and adorable. And it drinks a little energy container when it's doing the thing instead of eating the little food thing. I was like, oh man, Capcom just Monster Hunter World. I cannot say enough good about this game. I cannot say enough good about this game. Like every day, every month, it's like something that's like, it's great. It's like, man.
Oh my.
What else about Monster Hunter World? I think there's something else in here, or not. Cherry Blossom Festival. Got a bunch of thingies. Oh yeah, I got the fancy outfit and all the variations of it, and then the Palico fancy flower power outfit too, and yeah.
The butterfly outfit?
That. Oh, also there was like a weird low rank thingy. It was very ugly. I got it anyway, just because I didn't have it. So that was it's hideous. It's hideous. Just go and look. It's terrible.
Are you talking about the low rank butterfly armor?
Yes, that abomination.
Oh, it is quite beautiful. You are correct.
And then I've been using the double lucky vouchers to get a bunch of Zinni, so that's fun. So I like all week or however long they've had this. Like every time it gets full, I will use them, and then make sure I have like a space to get more. And so I've just been using or playing all my 50,000 or higher Zinni quest solo because I had like some like triple monster hunts, and I was like, I was like, I know I can do this, man, and we'll see what happens. And like 60,000 credits. I was like, oh, like I got a bunch of Zinni. Oh, it was worth it. And just I was like, oh man, making it rain. It's raining Zinni. So I might have 3 million credits right now. I don't know. I had a lot. I was like, I'm at 2 million. I'm at over 2 million. I've never had this much Zinni in my life. Oh my god! And it's great. So yeah, Mushroom Roll is just still a fun time. Can't get enough, and it's awesome. And Bungie, if you're out there, you should take some notes, cause man, you could totally use some of this advice from this game and all the funness that it is, and not the breaking your heart, soul, and spirit and body trying to grind your one piece of armor. It's like, oh, get grenade melee kills. Oh, play for 6 hours, 30%, whatever. F that game. So yeah.
You were copying Diablo and now, but there's a new game in town that
yeah.
you should be copying.
So yeah, Japanese developers had to had to come back after taking a break to handhelds and be like, all right, we got a budget again. We can make something that's costing money, and it sold 6 million copies. Yay! So hopefully they won't be all, let's just not do that again. So yeah, that I think I played. Did I play something else, or was I just looking through games? I think I was just looking through games. I don't think I played anything else. I was like looking through stuff, and that's not playing something. So that is all I've been playing. Oh wait! I did play some Gran Turismo Sport. I remember now. Chapter said something in the pre-show, and I was like, oh yeah, I played that too, but I didn't say it out loud. I was thinking it to myself because I was like, I played that, didn't I? Didn't I?
I was thinking to himself.
And I was thinking, and I was like, oh yeah, I did. So yeah, my Gran Turismo Sport. I basically haven't been doing anything like super duper in depth. I've just been doing like the daily mileage workouts because I don't know what it is. It's like it's really weird too. Because like when you play this game like this, it kind of feels like a free to play, but then it's not in a bad way. It's just like you get a free car, like going to certain mileage.
Yeah.
And it's like weird the way that they present it to you. It's like there's 4 cars and they're all in a silhouette, so you can't see what. You had see like the outline, but you can't see like what the car is. So you can kind of get an idea of like, oh, that might be a McLaren, that might be a Porsche, that might be a Ferrari, that might be a. And you get excited, and you're like, okay, I have a 1 in 4 chance. And then there's this like little, the Price is Right like game of like there's like a spotlight and it goes around and like you still can't see it until it stops, and then it stops in a car, and it's like then you get to see like what the car is, and then like then you either have like a super like it's a free car either way, so it's like, but that being said, you have like this like excitement of like, oh, I want this one, and then like it's always, I've yet to like be like, oh, I see this car, I want that one because I don't have the one, I think that's the one I want, and then it always doesn't land on it, so it's, it's not daily letdowns in Tekken's life because, it's not hard enough out there for Tekken, so let's just keep on. It's like RNG is like the worst creature, and if I find you, I will vanquish you and make it rain loot for everybody, everywhere, all across the multiverse, all the time, and nothing can stop me. So, yeah, I don't know. Why have maybe just me. I'm just like an unlucky person. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. And Gran Turismo work still awesome and fun times. Oh, also I realized that on the I don't know what it's called. Like, it's not the career. It's not the arcade. It's like the races that are like the leagues, like the amateur, beginner, professional, endurance, blah blah blah. It's like the higher you go, the more credits it's worth per race. So I've basically been doing the amateur ones of the Red Bull car. Because there's another one above that, but it's like 20 or 10 or 12 hour laps. And I'm like, that's a bit long. On the one hand, it's a long time. But it's not that bad. But then you get a lot of credits. But it's like, is it worth it? Like I said, Tekken's trying to live his life. Not all be all, yeah. Toothpaste in the tube. Or, or before all the toothpaste is out of the tube, get things done and have a fun time and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. That's not how that analogy works. I don't care, whatever. I just said it.
So confusing.
I use the toothpaste analogy a lot lately because it makes sense. Just saying, it's like, toothpaste in a tube, and it's like if it's out the tube, toothpaste out the tube. I mean, it's not all of that. I mean, it's not all the toothpaste, but there's toothpaste out the tube, so it's like, yeah, kind of missed out on the toothpaste that you were not able to use when it's squirted out on the floor. And yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? You have way less toothpaste now. I'll stop talking now. Someone can go after me.
Yeah, I guess I did play a little Monster Hunter. I went for the, although it feels like so long ago.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah, I just got to check out some of the Spring Blossom Fest stuff. So that was neat. I like how they decorated the Gathering Hub. And I thought it would be everywhere, but it was just the Gathering Hub. I was like, aw, a little bit disappointed. And then we tried, my brother and I, with randoms, we tried to take on Tempered Devil Joe, which was pretty exciting because at one point I decided that I was just going to tank and be support. And so I just brought traps and pieces for traps and like flash bugs and just like anything I could do to annoy it. Which was kind of cool. So I discovered that the more shock traps you use, the less effective they become, to the point where it's like really it just like steps on it, twitches a second, and then walks over and kills you. I was like,
effort
wow,
traps in general.
that's fun. Although I don't think the pitfall traps does that.
It
Like,
does.
It does.
Yeah.
It seems to take more of them maybe because like, and I wonder like if that's why it can still attack you when it's in a pitfall trap because they're a little bit more effective. And so it's like, well, we can't have him trapped all the time, so got to make them less and less effective. And yeah, the flash bugs as well. So we'd just be shooting tons of them at him. It's not. Oh, okay. After 4, it finally stunned a little bit, and we can hurt him. We never won. I mean, such as it is with randos. But yeah, it was very fun. I was like, oh, this is like the most fun fight because all the other ones seem kind of easier now. This one is still like a challenge. So that was great.
I was already triggered Kieran. Just saying. That's another zap.
I don't think
And you're down.
I don't know if I've fought Tempered Kieran yet. Maybe if I haven't done it with you guys, then I haven't like tried it yet. So yeah,
Kieran's one of the required like story quests though, so you would have, or the one that you get when you like get to rank 50.
Oh, okay. Then I've done that one. That was, I don't know, like I guess because when I play tank style, then like I'm not afraid of a lot of these things as much. So maybe it wasn't. I didn't think that one was as exciting. Tempered Devil Joe really is just like
It is.
it's very awesome. It's like, oh, this is such a cool fight.
He turns into
It's
One Punch
taking
Man,
forever.
and you're like, oh, I thought I had 80% health, and that was,
Yeah.
and now I'm in a cart. Well, lovely.
Then, you know how last week I was talking about I wanted to do dailies and stuff, so I haven't gone and looked through my games to see which other ones have dailies, but I have been playing the ones that I know, which is Gran Turismo, Sport, just like Tekken said, like free car, it's so fun. I've only gotten one car that I wanted, so a little bit better than Tekken's luck, but it's not really a car that most people would be like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. It was, I saw the Volkswagen bus van thing, like the turtle van, and I was like, I want that one. And then it stopped on that one. I was like, yes! 31 horsepower.
You're a strange duck.
Oh, man.
So that was cool.
have you looked at the liveries for that one? 'Cause there's a lot of them with like
Oh,
a lot of like since there's like so much space on it since it's so big. There's a like bunch of
hmm,
murals that people have made for like all the liveries for it.
that's awesome. I haven't looked. Mainly just been playing sport mode online because it's the easiest to get a lot of mileage with, I think. Because I don't think I have I don't think I have above amateur league yet, so I don't have any of the really long races. So basically, I just go on, enter the event, and then start running qualifying laps, and I just keep running those until the race starts, and then I run the race. And usually, my luck has been it'll be like 8 to 11 minutes before the race begins when I get my entry in, and so I have that much time to just drive around the track. And then the races are often like 15-minute long, and there'll be like 8 laps around, and so it's like it's a lot of mileage doing just one thing. And then it's like, oh, that's enough for my free car. All right, can quit this game and move on to the other one that I know there's a daily of, which is Fortnite. Been playing that still. I got my first solo win, and I'm trying to remember what I did. I think it was probably a stealth game. Where I just like stealthed a lot of it. Like I'm trying to remember what the ending was because I did kill the last guy, and I can't remember because I had a really crazy weekend. Um, but it was really cool. I remember thinking, "Oh my god, I finally won one. Even I can win one of these." With my poor shooting and all things considered and not even bothering to learn how to build, I finally won a game. Yeah, I think that I like how goofy the game is. We need to play Paragon this soon because that disappears on the 26th.
It does. No.
That will be the end of the era of Paragon. I met another guy this weekend who played Paragon. He was saying, yeah, I played a lot of Paragon. I was like, oh, you too? And it's like, see, if we had met like last year, it would have been like, oh yeah, Paragon. But this year, it's more like, oh yeah, Paragon.
Basically, yes.
Sad. Yeah, this weekend I did like this indie event thing where I brought together a bunch of indie devs to show off their games at a convention. And I actually played some of them this time. Although, for some, like, in years past, I felt like I had a lot of time. And so the show would start, the setup would finish, show would start, and then I would be like, huh, there's not really anything for me to do because I don't actually have a game to show. I just did like the pre-planning part, and now that it started, that phase is over, and I would just like walk around and do whatever. But this year it just felt like I was doing stuff the entire time, so I didn't play a lot of things that I would have liked to play. I just played the ones that I was like, well, I've never played this one before, and I just found you on Kickstarter and was like, do you want to show a game at this show? And it's like, oh, okay, cool, and brought them. And so there was like, I don't know, but I don't know if you can find any of these games if you search them. Because most of them are pre-release, I think, and I think some of them aren't even, meant to be. They're not really going to be sold, I guess. So,
What are those games called? Stuff like that.
well, so there's at least one that it's not like they don't plan to, or I don't know actually. I don't know if he plans to sell it or not. But if you look at it, you would say nobody would buy this.
Oh,
But I think there's like, yeah, like I went through this a lot at the show where it's like, why would you bring games like that? And it's like, well, because like I feel like there's value in games like that because there's this huge push to get more people to make games, and so you have like more diverse voices and stuff. And if you just like if
Open
you
world,
don't
action adventure.
if you don't like give certain types of game chances, then they will never have the chance. And so I think there's value in having. I mean, I think the only games that have no value are the like straight up copycats, and they're just like trying to ride on someone else's coattails and make some money before they get shut down. Usually those are like poorly made and like have a similar name and kind of look similar, but they just are like bad versions of the game. Those I don't think you need to showcase. But some games you look at it as like, wow, this is definitely not commercially viable. And I'm like, well, to me it's like, I think that's still fine. As long as it's like as long as the dev gets something out of showing it. And really I think it takes a brave person to show a game like that, unless they have just no self-awareness. So yeah, there's like a few like that. But otherwise, like, it's pretty good show. We had 19 games this year. And they tell me, I think I worried the show organizer that I wasn't going to do it anymore. At the beginning, I was like, I'm very tired. I don't know. This feels like a disaster. But then in the end, I guess it turned out okay. And like the first day he came to me, he was like, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling better about it? And I was like, yeah. Kind of. So it was cool. I made a website. If anyone is truly interested, it's weshoutedindies.net. It has all of the games that I found and who wanted to be at the show. So check it out if you're so inclined. Be inclined. I guess the one that so there was two that I thought were really fun. There was a game called Secret of Harrow Manor, which is like a first-person Resident Evil 1, I guess, in the sense that it takes place in a house in the first part, and there are zombies, and you have very limited resources. And there was a VR version as well there, and it was like, it worked. It was a Gear VR version, and it worked like surprisingly well. You pushed the button. There's only one button on the Gear VR controller to move forward, and like you would move forward in whatever direction that you were looking at. And so because Gear VR is like one of the only true wireless VR things, you could stand there and just like spin 360 degrees no matter which way you wanted to go. You would never get like tangled up in wires and stuff. So it's really cool, and it worked really well. And then like you could because the controller for Gear VR has like motion controls. So once you had a weapon, which I never did in that one, you could like actually point with the controller and use it to aim and shoot at zombies and other monsters. It's pretty cool. And then another one was actually a student game. It was called Slug Slasher. And it was kind of like, did you ever play like Dishwasher Samurai?
I
No,
seen
Tropical.
it, but I
No one
haven't
has
played
ever
it.
played these things that
No
you
one
just
has
make
ever
up.
played Dishwasher Samurai?
I think
No,
I might have bought it.
you're a
I just
crazy
never
person
played
right
it.
now.
It was like it was a pretty big sort of 2D Devil May Cry type game on Xbox Live Arcade back in the
Lots.
day. Yeah,
Flies
it's
on
like
top of flies.
it was kind of like that, but it was like you were a chef and your weapons were like salt based and you were killing slugs and it was like ooh, kind of cool.
So weird.
So yes, fun times. Did not get to play a lot of the games I spent money on, or even the games I downloaded for free.
Right, there were
That
free
was-
games this month.
I was super busy. I think that's I. So I think my GameFly expires this week, so I have to play whatever it is that I received. I haven't even opened the envelopes yet, so I don't know what I have. I think I get like a day to play each of them, and then I have to return them, so I don't have to start paying their exorbitant $23 a month for 2 games out.
Wait, so with that, they just send you random games, or
Well, you have a queue.
RPG.
well, no, because he was like he doesn't know what he has, so I'm like, it's not
Like, you have a queue, but they also have like their availability, so it's not like you can put, oh, I want this one, send it now, and you'll get it. It's more like, well, we recommend you put 10 games in your queue, and we'll, like, even though you get to sort them in order, we don't really care about that unless more than one of them is available.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh.
I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was just like Netflix before everybody did instant streaming.
Kind of is, except Netflix had more copies, I think, of every movie. If you're trying to get like the latest release for that Tuesday, maybe you wouldn't be able to get it even if you had it on the top of your queue. And so they would send like the next thing
Well,
instead
I
of
never
the
had. I never had old school Netflix. I've only had streaming, so I don't know. How it
Oh,
works.
you've never seen it. Well, that's how.
Oh wait, there
that's
was a
how-
version. There was a version of Netflix before this one.
There is. They still have that version RPG. I'm just saying, like before it blew up into what it is now, that was just like what Netflix was just people having like one movie at a time, and then like they send it back. That's how they killed Blockbuster. Is like,
Oh, I did not know that's what that was.
wow.
It was always like this.
It used to be. I think for a while it was like DVDs and streaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna split the company," and they like gave one of them another name, and then for some reason everyone was really upset, and I forget why. And so they're like, "Never mind."
Because like for me, like I'd always been streaming. I was like, whatever, dude. Like, man, after I got Netflix, like that's the sort of thing. It's like I got into Netflix like super late, and then like I got it, and I was like, wow, I've been missing out. Because I just saw my like Facebook memory, and it was like I think 2012, 2013, and it was super late in the Netflix game. And I was like, I want to go back in time and punch myself in the face because Netflix is awesome. Because that's when I saw Avengers. I was like, oh man, it really is awesome. It made me believe in the MCU.
Fun. But yeah, I think I have Wonder Boy, and I don't even know what the other one is.
I don't think that's ever their
knows?
tagline, but I think that's what people would like give the analogy of like GameFly as like it's like the Netflix of games, because you just send off for a game and get it. But I guess apparently
Yep.
there's a queue thing. But I guess old Netflix had a queue thing, or not the thing at the top of your queue, but whatever. I don't know how that works. I never had old school networks, whatever. So
Like, I've had a way out at the top of my queue basically since day one, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Maybe now is the time when you do.
They might do that. I've noticed, like, you know how subscription style services want you to stay on forever, and they have tactics for getting you to stay on. It's sort of like
It's a
threatening to cancel your cable. Then they'll give you like a better deal or whatever.
Well, I've never had cable, so I've never had that deal.
Oh, that's what people do.
The joke is on you.
I think that's why cable companies decided, well then, we're gonna be monopolies, so ha.
Possibly, yes.
But I like GameFly. Usually, if you go to unsubscribe, a deal will pop up. It's like, oh no, don't leave. Like your next month will be $10 instead of $23. And thinking about that, maybe I'll do it. I don't know.
Don't do it, John. Close the trap.
My current month is $1. So while it's 10 times more expensive, it's still half as expensive as an actual subscription.
Oh dear.
Anywho, that's what I've been playing.
See, and somewhere out there in the multiverse, we're on like the opposite darkest timeline spectrum. It's like with the dollarverse, everything's a dollar. Everything's a dollar.
The lightest.
Actually, I guess like the better version of that would be like capitalism is like destroyed and like we don't even have that crap. It's like Star Trek. It's like we do to better ourselves. F capitalism.
I love capitalism.
Is that how you've been playing Tropical?
Yep, that's what I've been playing.
RPG.
Well, I haven't been playing much actually. Mostly just playing through Trails of Cold Steel 2, and kind of just working my way through that. Other than that, I did play Monster Hunter World briefly, only because the Mega Man thingy showed up, so I wanted to make sure I got the gear before it disappeared. I mean, I don't use it because I like how adorable my Palico looks in his butterfly outfit, and it matches my Bard outfit, so I'm like, this is great. So now we both look adorable. So I've been just using that. Made a new guild card and everything.
So,
but yeah,
Does
that's
the Mega Man thing end on Thursday?
after the
View thing.
thingy is over. It's dunsies.
Oh, also,
Okay.
I forgot to say, but Mega Man, like, depending on your weapon, on some of the weapons, it changes the stage music, so that was pretty cool. It was in the trailer,
Oh, yeah.
but, like, I didn't actually I only got to experience the longswords and I only used the longsword, but still, I was like, man, that's awesome. So,
I don't think I actually use any of the weapons that change it, so I always got the same music.
Is it Mega Man music?
That's it. Yep.
It is. It's like the old school, like when he was the 2D shooter guy.
Yep, it's all chiptune-y. It's great. It's great. It's the best.
So I did. So that was. Yeah. But it was pretty. I mean, it was enjoyable. I did play Tempered Devil Joe a bit when the thingies first started, so I got some more of those augmentation stones and gems and stuff from him, but it wasn't. So I mean, I think my luck was a bit better when it came to the randoms, but maybe they already knew. They already knew about the Joe. Because Tempered Devil Joe, like I said before, it's like that's a bit more how he was in the previous games. That's like normal Devil Joe. So
fun.
So yeah, that was it was pretty entertaining.
I like it.
But I guess that he'll be coming to an end soon too, actually, because I think the Temper one's like a limited time as well.
I thought they rotate the events though. So when
They do.
eventually, yeah.
So yeah,
Unless
eventually.
they have a whatever festival, whatever.
Summerfest.
They could have a Summerfest. I mean, it wouldn't be
Yeah, the season.
the strangest thing.
The next season. or Winterfest, or Autumn.
They might. Well, no, they might. I mean, they might do because they said it's their first seasonal event, so it's a good. There's a good chance they'll be doing them for each of the seasons. So there'll be something featured
I wonder if
with
we'll
each
get
one.
bathing suit armor, which is
I
kind
mean,
of
the Kieran
oxymoronic.
armor is basically already that. Basically already that.
I don't know. I don't feel like I could swim in my I mean, I guess it does kind of look like a swimsuit, but still, it's
You
not like.
can't swim in any of them.
I mean, if I had it, well, there is
Sorry,
like
I'm
water
saying.
in stages. You know, you wade through it
Yeah,
with your legs.
briefly.
Palicos have sweet rafts, but hunters know what's up with that.
We should get a sweet raft.
We should get a sweet raft. But they would also have to. I mean, there's a
Just like
I
the
mean,
Palico one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a floaty that comes out of your waist.
I mean, it's possible that one day they will add water back to the game, and except make it not suck this time, and then yeah, then we'll be happy
Water?
because it was not well executed in the previous game that it was featured as the main feature, so it was not very fun at all. But you know, dark times, man, dark times. So, let's see. And then other than that, I started playing like some of my old games because of the question from last week. So I like, started. So I was like, oh no, I have to nostalgia factor this. So I started playing like Wild Arms and Legend of Legaia, from the original PlayStation days, and I was like, this is wonderful. Although Legend of Legaia made me remember how strange that game was in terms of like how different it was for an RPG because you had to like make attacks. It was weird. It was weird, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, so I ended up taking a little trip down memory lane thanks to our previous question. So that was fun. So hopefully I can do more of that. Hopefully. Who knows?
Well, the toothpaste is coming out of the tube every day, RPG, so you know you've only got so much. Don't waste it.
I
Or spill
don't.
it on the floor.
I don't understand. I don't
I guess for the
understand.
time
the
analogy, I should
toothpaste?
use the what are those things called with the sand and the time thingy that you up and down?
Hourglass.
That's I should use that analogy for
The
time.
sand clock. Sand timer?
What is happening right now?
Those
doing?
things. I guess that's a better analogy than the toothpaste analogy, though it still kind of works if you think of toothpaste as
Does
time.
it though?
Because every day you brush your teeth and you're like, that's a bit more toothpaste. You only got so much toothpaste. And then you're out of toothpaste. And then you're dead. So you know.
I don't think you die when you run out of toothpaste. I don't
We
think
don't
you know
die
how
when
toothpaste works.
the sand hourglass thingy is all one side is on the bottom, or all the sand's on the bottom. You just flip it back over, and it's like, oh, time's reset. You can't reset your time because you know nothing lasts forever.
What is even happening right now? Have you been doing drugs?
No, I don't do drugs.
Are you sure?
Nope. I mean, yes, I am.
Because I mean, no one's gonna judge you. We're gonna judge you. But
Depends
yeah,
on your state.
but that's pretty much all I've been playing. So nothing too exciting. God of War comes out this Friday, so
Yeah, I
there's that. to look
because
forward
man,
to.
those reviews, dude. I was like, I was kind of whatever on God of War, and then after I saw the reviews, and I started thinking, well, let's roll the tape back, Tekken, because we've got some Uncharted, super awesome single player, amazing, balls first player. I mean, sorry, first party game. Jeez, Horizon, blew your mind last year. Still think it's the best games ever. Oh my gosh. Let's see, so Uncharted, that one. And then yeah, Sony's all like, you know, at PSX this year, like, you know, Sean Layden's all like, you know, we're gonna focus on single player experiences, and I'm all like, yeah, I like single player experiences, so this one appears to be the next one in the lineage of awesomeness that is single player first person experiences from Sony first party, and I rather did enjoy Order 1886, even though other people were like, yeah, it's not that great. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not. It's like it could be. It's whatever, dude. It's a solid performer. Solid performer. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Um,
Oh,
there's probably
I
some other
mean,
stuff I haven't played.
I just
played
pre-ordered
Bloodborne.
because Dad Kratos.
Ratchet and Clank. Haven't played that. I have it, so eventually. But yeah, Sony first party killing it. So I'm on this train, and I've been kind of hyping this train. So it's like, why would I not enjoy the ride on the train? I like to hype. So yeah,
So next stop.
it's like the next stop in the wow, my brain. What's that? The what's the freaker game called?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah, we're in the Days Gone phase of the Sony MCU or whatever. We need to make a name for this. Not called MCU because the MCU is the MCU, not the Sony MCU. That's a word. Sony Gaming Experience (SGE).
No,
Sony
I mean
SGE.
you would still just do Universal, so sort of be like the Sony gaming universe. So,
The SWOG.
the
The Sony
Swag.
universe of games.
The Sug?
The SWOG. The SUG? SWOG?
Welcome to Aimless Podcast.
But
Yeah.
we got
We get
God of
weird.
War. We got wow, Detroit later on. And
Alright, Detroit is coming
then
out
we got
this year.
Spider-Man. And then we got Days Gone, the current. I mean, I guess we're currently in like the God of War, obviously, because it's the next one out, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. Then we got Days Gone. Wait, I said Days Gone. Whatever. The Last of Us is after that, because obviously it's going to be Days Gone, then The Last of Us, because Days Gone was shown first. Unless I mean, Naughty Dog's pretty good at making games, so who knows? They could be like, man, we're done, guys. Look how awesome we are.
It's like, we'll just put ours out. You guys took too long.
Then we got Ghost of Tsushima, the game I forgot about, and I was like randomly thinking about games. I was like, oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, man, because Studio's killing that first party. So.
I think it's Tsushima. There's no sushi.
I said Tsushima. But yeah, and probably some other stuff that we don't know about. They're gonna find out about E3, and they're like, oh my god, Sorry, just like every year. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
You want to not be
Yeah, the
insane?
spider sense is always ready to tingle. RPG is always ready to tingle. Just saying, because in the darkest
Well, I
timeline, I
mean-
need the light to shine into me and be all like hype. Okay. That's weird that what I just said, but when it shines, I can kind of like hear it. It's like a voice, and it's like hype, Tekken, hype, get hype, Tekken, hype. And I'm like, what am I getting hyped about? And they'll like whisper a game to me, and I'll be like, oh, what?
You your own personal hype man?
And I'm like, oh, God of War. Oh, I'm hyped. Yeah. It's coming out this week. And it's like, oh, okay. Then after that, we got. And I'm like, oh, Detroit become human. Quantum Dream. I love Heavy Rain. I love Beyond Two Souls. And then it's all like,
I did not love Beyond
I
Two
mean,
Souls.
sure, Spider-Man is like Insomniac, so it's not really first party, but whatever. It's like, oh, it's exclusive. And then super excited. And
I
then,
mean, this year for games is probably going to be
oh yeah, I
pretty
completely forgot
great
about
in
Deep Down.
general,
Kojima-san.
so-
Deep Down. Kojima.
I
That's
think you
not
mean
Kojima.
Death
You mean
Stranding.
Death
I'm
Stranding.
sorry. What did I say?
Yeah.
Deep
Said
down.
Deep Down. The missing Capcom game
The
from
missing game.
from Days Yore.
Another D game. I'm sorry, my brain is just fried. I had a long work week, and I'm just done. So yeah.
Just like
The synapses are
Just like
firing,
going
but they're all
cuckoo banana
misfires. But yeah, Death Stranding. That's like the next phase after Last of Us, because that's way off. Man,
never know.
baby
Could
in
be
the
like
stomach.
next year.
Do you want to do that for middle segment? Figure out how many phases have gone by and what games are included.
No, it's okay. I'll do that some other time. I'll come back and be like, all right, guys, I went back to the drawing board and
This is the SWOG.
I wrote it out,
SWOG phases.
and now I've got where we're at and where we're going. Though we already know where we're going, but I've got what we got before, because it was before we Yeah, before I only came up with this like this year, and that was before we had Infamous and the other Infamous and Uncharted
The
and all the
other
other games I just talked about like
Infamous.
Bloodborne and Bleep Blarp. Bleep Blarp's another game. I'm blanking again. The one I said that wasn't Bloodborne. Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank. It's already out there for a decade. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, middle segment. Whew.
Stop being insane. It's not healthy.
Take it away, Tropical.
All right. So first off, which one is the greatest generation?
Well,
Oh.
I think that's subjective, but for me, it's all about the PS2. Because man, let me tell you, wow, Japanesey goodness up the wazoo, and then just like
Up the wa-
games coming into their own as far as like story-driven experiences, but not quite there, but still, and then. And multiplayer, online multiplayer, like, oh man, I'm gonna get online, play this game, and do these things with these people. Oh, and I have this headset, and I can hear them. Oh, we're talking. Oh my god. It's just like, yeah, all the things, and just like whoosh, 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 on top of what it was, and it was better and awesome. And
Which
Final
one
Fantasy
was
X, oh my
the
gosh.
online stuff at the time? It was
I mean,
like SOCOM,
Dreamcast.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like SOCOM. You had FN SOCOM. You had SX3 and all the EA games, and you had like MMOs like EverQuest and Final Fantasy 11, and then you had some action adventure dungeon crawler stuff like the Champions and I don't remember. It was some that one universe I can't think of right now. That's like a
One
Blizzard
universe I
property,
can't think
or
of.
not a Blizzard property, but they've made that one.
Oh, Warcraft?
No, it's like a Neverwinter Nights. Neverwinter, that's it. What's
Yeah.
Neverwinter Nights? I don't know, whatever. It's those things. It's like a subtitle. It's like a weird universe that's like those people that make Wizards of the Coast, that Dungeons and Dragons stuff, whatever. Anyway, that stuff. Sports games, where I said that. Madden. I mean, that being said, when they came out, I was like, oh, look at how amazing it is. I was like, oh, blew my mind. Ah. And then Guardians of the 3 is that's another thing. It's like on the cusp of like video photo. It was already achieved photorealism. You could like see a screenshot, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing, that looks insane, and then like not exactly photorealism, but it's good enough, man. It's like, oh man, I'm playing Resident Evil, I'm watching replay, it looks pretty effing real. Oh my gosh, just whoosh, my mind's blown. And then you had like the fully voiced Final Fantasy X. Oh, being in, this is my story. And then they're talking. Oh my gosh, they're talking. And then yeah, that was an amazing game. What else? What else? But yeah, it was deliciousness, awesomeness, and I quite thoroughly enjoyed it.
You don't say.
I mean, Eco, Shadow of the Colossus. Oh my god, Eco was it touched my heart on like in my soul, and like like on a human level, it just changed the way I see games. It's just holding someone's hand. That's what the game was, but it was so compelling and just and just yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like making that noise in my mouth noise like library this week a lot. I'm sorry. That's just like where my brain's at right now. It's just like It's just like I'm like triple hyped about things. It's just and like it's taking me back. PS2 is just like the stuff. It was just so delicious. It was just so good and just. But yeah, that's what I say. It's the best generation for me. Me personally, I think PS2 is the best generation. So that's my opinion. Then that's where I stand on that topic.
Reggie, which one was the greatest generation?
Hmm. Hmm.
Not including this one, because we'll get there.
I'm not sure I would include this one as the greatest generation. Not just yet. But I would probably have to. Yeah, I think the PS2 would probably be that generation of systems was probably like a nice little golden age for games at the time that it came out. Because I mean, a lot of my favorite games are from the PS2 era. So, I mean, and
So
some of them are still highly ranked up there, considering it's been like 2 generations, and some of my favorite games are still PS2 games. So it's like, well, has to say something about the generation. So I would have to probably say the PS2 era was probably one of the best ones, if not the best ones. So because the generation that counts as that is what, the 64, right, for Nintendo, or are they, or is that GameCube?
That would be the
for them?
GameCube, yeah.
because I keep forgetting how their generations work. They release things weird. But
64 would have been with PS1 and Xbox.
PS1, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
Wait, no.
Duke was the Duke. No, I think the Duke was part of
I'm wrong.
PS2
Yeah,
era.
PS2.
Yeah.
That would have been the Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn.
There were so many Segas at the
There
time.
were.
There were a lot of Segas. There another one who had like a weird release thing for their.
Wait, which games on PS2 are your favorite games today?
I mean, there's the Digital Devil Saga.
Okay.
Final Fantasy X. Let's see. They're
Sorry, I couldn't resist it. Hymn of the
What was
Faith.
that?
Forever. Hymn of the Faith.
It's not. Stop doing that, please. Stop. I mean, just stop doing everything you're doing right now.
I'll just make the noise next time. I won't try to sing it.
Yeah.
I'll just hum it.
And that's also the generation that I got into Persona as well. So, I mean, there's that. Kingdom Hearts 2 happened. Actually, the whole Kingdom
And
Hearts
one.
series started in that generation. So, I mean, yeah. I mean,
All of them.
exactly
All of the main ones.
So yeah, I mean, pretty strong generation. Xenosaga, yes,
Shadow
definitely.
Hearts.
So yeah, there were a lot of great ones in there that's have not been duplicated. So not yet.
And we got Guitar Hero with the plastic instruments. What happened to that? What happened to that?
Well, that
Activision.
they oversaturated the market, and then people were
just
just
saying,
like,
I'm just
"Yeah, I'm
saying."
good."
I'm just saying. We had a good thing going, and Activision ruined it. Thanks, Activision.
You're welcome, they said.
Pouring out for Neversoft Studios, no longer with us.
Oh. But yeah, PS2 era probably was. I mean, and even with, and it also probably because like there was less online stuff to play, so or
Oh,
fewer
yeah,
games
so
that
you
were
didn't
working
have
online.
the
So you have the
no
toxic
big physique
environment.
factor.
So it's just like it was a little less toxic during that generation. So all right, we only had like Gap nights to worry about, and I mean that was a bit safer. Now you have to deal with online everything and people everywhere, so it's like yay. So there's that. Optical.
Well, I mean, I think it sort of sounds clear what the second question would.
is Choptical.
What the
Yeah, that's
more and more these days, I feel like this this generation might surpass PlayStation 2.
I was looking forward to your answer of like, well, we like our Xbox 360s, but we love our PS3s because that was your like favorite code of the last generation. And
Yeah.
you didn't use it.
Yeah, but that generation wasn't that
See,
great.
like I still agree with that wherever it is I read it, and I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere, and it didn't come out of my own head.
You might have.
But, yeah, like when I, so yes, I still agree with that. But
We love our
when I
PS3s just
talk
not
about
as much as our
PS4,
PS4s.
when I talk about PS4, I sort of, you know how I always say, like, this is sort of the do-over generation. Like, this is the generation that sort of refined everything that the PS3 generation was about.
I mean, when you look at all the sequels to various games, it kind of is playing out that way.
And not
It's
just
like-
sequels, like remasters.
Yeah, so it's like
Of
you're getting a
those
lot of
games.
like
They're just
Then-
like better versions of those amazing games. So like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Shadow of the Colossus. Not really a PS3 game, but it was on PS3. You know, the franchises that are just so big time today. A lot of that, I don't know. I guess a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them start on PS3.
Well, some.
and are just like now are refined to this point where it's like, oh yeah, PS4.
Yeah, they did end up like absorbing a lot of. Because I mean, there's even some games that kind of like skipped the PS3 generation and have been like appearing on PS4 now. So
Nah.
there's, I mean, I guess, but then technically, it still wouldn't make it. That would be just mean that it's copying the greatest generation that ever happened. So it's just like it's kind of
But
like
it's not
part
just
two.
copied, right? It's like
I mean,
refined
yeah,
version of those
there's new.
things.
I mean, there's new stuff and everything, but at the end of the day, it's like it's kind of like it's. I wouldn't say like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like this generation was not awesome or anything, but I'm just saying like a lot of the awesome it owes to you know the fact that a lot of things were brought back and then like you said refined and everything, so it kind of like tweaked the other generations to make itself kind of awesome. So
I mean, like, yeah, the PS2, there was a lot of stuff that was pioneered on the PS2, but they weren't necessarily, I think, the best versions of those things. I'm not just talking about
graphically.
remasters. I'm just talking about like, how refined like the controls are, or it's not that graphics don't matter. Like sometimes when your graphics get better, like the game is more readable for people, or you can do sort of more like cinematic, dramatic type stuff once your graphics get above a certain point. I mean, Final Fantasy X, yes, really awesome. I think it was the only Final Fantasy I'd ever finished at the time.
better have.
It's kind of, in a way, it has its roots in old Final Fantasy games, right? That weren't, Final Fantasy wasn't born on the PS2,
It was not.
but it was like a refined version of Final Fantasy stuff on PS2 that just like when it all came together, it was like, wow, this is amazing. And so I don't think necessarily you can say, well, the PS4 stuff like came from earlier eras, and so they, instead of looking at the refined versions, it's where they started that makes them like that place where they started is the best generation. No? I mean, what we were just talking about earlier with just Sony first party on this generation. It's like, it has been incredible. Like, I can't think of another time when I felt the way about games the way I feel about them today.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Tropical. It's just like for me personally, it's like I see what you're saying, but it's like I'm not gonna disagree, but like I think the like even though there's like the refinement, like I think Tarbuji's point, like what he was saying, like it's a lot of stuff that's like building off of what's already established, and like for me, like in PS2 era, there's like a lot of like weird, just like zany stuff that's like because like the industry is the way it is and like has gone the way it is, like publishers are more risk averse, so you don't see like stuff like Katamari Damacy or that Mr. Muto Mosquito game, or just like I mean you do like on the indie side, but it's like
Yeah.
from like a AAA side, it's like
that.
all the like AAA are just like so focused on like profit and money and like keeping development costs down and like making as much as they can in microtransactions and like money over money. Like they like you just have like them
Was
spitting out.
Katamari a AAA game?
I mean, in the attention it got. I mean, it might not have been like in terms of, I guess, like actual marketing and development kind of thing, but I think I think in terms of like the type of attention it got, it was kind of like up there for a lot of people knew of it even if they didn't play it, kind of thing. So, but I mean, I think I kind of agree with Tekken though, because it's like because there are a lot of games that there's a lot of yeah, there are indie stuff now, but back then it's like regular releases. If it's going to be, people seem like they were more okay with it being weird
like
back then
the
instead of
spectrum
having to
stuff that
worry
you would
about.
see like
Yeah.
like Res and like
Or
Eco, Shadow Colossus, like Rise to Honor, like just cool stuff that's like different. And like
or
now
they
it's
would
just
at
it just
least
seems
try
like
to be
you have a
ambitious
franchise
about
that
it.
just like spits and poops out like the same stuff every 12 to 24 months with like just more refined versions of the poo that it is. So Assassin's Creed, just because they're out
Oh,
there, it's like you know.
Assassin's Creed.
And then they're like, yeah, let's take a couple years
Although,
off and then try to make it even better. And I mean, they finally succeeded. I haven't played Origins. I'll get there eventually. I mean, that's another thing with me. Like personally, it's just like the whole proliferation of like the season pass and like DLC and like I can't. I'm no longer buying games because there's all this stuff that's added to them after release. That if you don't pay for up front, it's like, well, I'm not. I don't know if the game's gonna be good. So it's like that's kind of a risk. So it's like I'll just wait for it to be $20 and get all the stuff in it. So. And I know it's gonna happen anyway, like the Uncharted or not Uncharted, wow, Injustice. Jeez, not infamous. Injustice, Injustice 2, or Injustice 1 when they had like the remaster with all the DLC, and Injustice 2 they like just had the version with like all DLC. It's like I can just wait for the game with all DLC because that's the whole thing now. Just don't get me started. And then like just like wait 12 to however many months, and it's like oh I can get all of it for $20. It's like the whole cost thing. It's like the whole cost thing like now versus then. That's the other thing. It's like back then there wasn't DLC. You just got the game and you had the things and you unlocked stuff. It wasn't like oh there's stuff in the game. Just gotta pay for it. You got it all. You got it all on this. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
yeah, you were more likely to get a complete game back then, in some sense of the word. But yeah, I just hmm, there's like series I would have like if there's things that would have been like similar, I guess, in this generation. Like if people did do things that a bit more, I don't know, out there, I guess. Because like there were like games I played on the PS2, or even like RPGs and stuff that I played that are quite a bit different than how they are now, and most of them kind of like they follow along the same formula to kind of make sure that they're you know successful. So they might not necessarily do things like Shadow Hearts did with the whole weird characters and kind of like scenarios and stuff, and it's like it's not something you would normally get like nowadays because most people are kind of worried about, well, am I going to be able to make my money back from this long development and all this stuff? So, and that's another thing too. I think development time is like increased dramatically too at post those generations. So there's that.
Well, I mean, surely there were annoyances in the PS2 era like that. I mean, the thing with all of these type of annoyances is, yeah, you can still. It's annoying to know about and have it exist, but you don't actually have to partake for the most part in a lot of cases. I mean, there are definitely cases where it's like if you don't partake, your game experience is gonna suck a lot more. But I mean, they've been generally pretty good at making it sort of just an option for the richer or the people who have no self-control.
And then there's I mean, I think Gran Turismo Sport's a good example too. It's like you have games where it's like they could have gone on for like years and years and years on a development cycle, and then like you would have got the game eventually like finished or just add it, and then they'll like eventually have like more DLC post-release as time goes on. But they had like a smaller game that they put out, and then like over time they've added onto it on top with like free DLC, which I think is like the model that they should do, as opposed to like the Street Fighter V model, where it's like here's the base game, this is all you get, unless you buy this fighter pass, and then this is all the stuff that you're not getting. So it's like I think those are like the two opposite ends of the spectrum. One's not the way to do it, Street Fighter V, and one's the way to do it, Gran Turismo Sport, because it's like, oh, we get, like, as they've been rolling out DLC, it's all been free, which is like, just like Mouse Hunter World, it's like, they had the game, and then like as time's gone on, they've had like more and more added to it. It's all been free, so it's like that's a good model to me, because it's like, oh, okay, cool, I don't have to keep paying on top of what I've already paid, and it's all free, and it's adding stuff, and I keep getting to go back and play it, whereas like stuff like Division, Destiny, and like Ghost Recon Wildlands, it's like, okay, well, here's year one, season one, and then we're gonna have seasons, and every season it's like, what's in the season, dude? What's in the season, dude? Can I see what's in the box? Can I see what's in the box? No. Okay, it's a trap. Okay, go for yourself. And yeah, just string me along with DLC. Rainbow Six Siege does that too. It's like it's like, oh, we're gonna have the base game, and then it's games as service. I mean, on the one hand, it's like that. It's like both a blessing and a curse because I just think Gran Turismo Sport is like the model of like how that should be. Is like from what I've played is like it seems to be like basically a games as service game, but like they're adding stuff that's all free so far, and then you have the games I just said that are not that game, and it's like, oh, well, we're just gonna keep adding DLC, and you can buy it or not. Some will be free, some will won't. Because I think the Splinter Cell thing might have been free. I don't know, but like some of it's free, some of it's time, some of it's whatever. Yeah, like the Ewok thing in like Battlefront 2. So it's like some of it's free, some of it's not. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. It's a box of chocolates. Who knows? Is it in the season pass? Is it not? We don't know because we just said that and then we sold it to you to make more profit because shareholders hold money to more money. So that's just darkest
Money.
timeline for you.
I mean, I guess those things don't matter to me because I feel like say, oh, there's a choice. Like I don't have to do any of this stuff if I don't want to. And so for me, the argument of this being the greatest generation, or when all said and done, this becomes the greatest generation, it just has to do with like how amazing the games are.
I mean, ask me again when Kingdom
just like
Hearts 3 comes out.
The
and we'll see.
quality of everything is just so much higher than it was in the past.
Well, of course it is. The technology.
Well, it's not even just graphics. It's just like
I'm not talking about just
design-wise.
graphics. I meant like they have the technologies far more. I mean, the consoles are far more powerful than the ones back then. So of course,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they can do
even
more.
even just like
that.
design-wise, they're just better. They're just smoother experiences often. Like sometimes in the past, things were difficult because they didn't really think about the design, I think, in the way that they do now. Like, just, I don't know, the practice of design is a lot more refined now. Yes? Yes.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Well,
Sometimes I
okay,
play, it's like,
so-
oh, this is really nice. This is really nice. I mean, that being said, it's only that way because technology's advanced that far. So
I guess, what do you think it would take for a generation to surpass the PlayStation 2?
oh man,
Can it ever happen then?
Okay,
Because like economic stuff that you're talking about, I don't think that's going to change.
Well,
It's either going to be this or it's going to be worse. And I can't think of what would be worse than
I can't try to
the
call
loot rates
if
and stuff like
if
that.
everything
but,
went free to play and it was like you get the
Oh.
base game and then pay up for cosmetics and we'll slowly dole out like the rest of the game when it's done and like we don't make sequels anymore. We just update it every air quote season. Like we'll like think of what that means when we can figure out how much money we can like extract from every user per quarter to please our shareholders or make profit, whatever.
Every game is Gmail.
Always in beta.
I forgot.
Your,
What was the question? you asked,
your
Michael?
data is our
I
product.
lost my train of thought. Right.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's ever going to get
what
to
would
that
it take? What would
Oh,
it
what would it
take
take?
to surpass PS2?
Okay, so like when you used to say like they should just do over last gen, I think that's what it would take because there is no backwards compatibility. So it's like I think there has to be some sort. That's the other thing with PS2. It's like awesome. I could play PS1 games I didn't have PS1 before. I was like playing Metal Gear Solid, play Final Fantasy, not the ones before 10 that were on PS1. That got well, I guess they made all the ones before 10. That was cool. So it's like or like before 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 and 6. Anyway. And Chrono Trigger was on one of those. Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger. Anyway, what it would take.
together, second. Get it together.
What it would take. So backwards compatibility off the bat, or just some sort of. I mean, I think the Xbox One X solution that they have is like a good template. Is like you can play your old games, but then they also get advanced like emulation support.
Everything.
Yeah, like every graphical boost that they can get. So it's like you can play your old games, but they look new and they play the same. So it's not going to be like a worse version that you're playing. So that'd be nice. Let's see. Besides backwards compatibility off the bat, I guess I guess that's just the thing. I mean, to me, like, I think that's just the thing because then you have like, because that's like the thing that's like the issue with games is like you can't like if I get a DVD player and I want to see like watch a movie, I can just put the DVD in. But if I get like a PS whatever and I want to play my PS not 5 game, if it's not backwards compatible, that's not a thing. So it's like it's kind of an issue. Of like, oh, how do I want to preserve the past or like the legacy of that like has been built up of this. Of the like the yeah of the hobby and the culture and all that stuff. It's like that would be a good place to move forward is like just universal backwards compatibility. Um, that'd be cool.
So a system that plays
I mean,
PS2 games, but also new stuff.
yes, that'd be great. I mean, that's the thing is like, cause like I mean, it had to be even better, cause like even on like the Xbox One X, like the stuff that they just came out with, like you can't play those like Xbox One games multiplayer. I mean the Duke era games, you can't play those multiplayer because there's no Xbox Live. So it's like I would like to see some sort of solution where it's like you can play old games, you can play old games multiplayer, you can play them old games that look better because they'll be boosted graphically from the current hardware or the future hardware, whatever. Um,
So you would just basically want a remake then, because they
No,
wouldn't
you
be
don't have to
able
make you
to.
don't have to make a remake. It's just you can play what your old and current stuff. It's just the old stuff looks better, and you don't lose any features. And then yeah, and then because of that, like whatever's new, it will just be top of the line because it's always better than what it was before. And then that kind of solves everything, in my opinion. So, because for me, it's like Telltale right now is like killing it as like far as like the games I like to play, and they didn't have that back in the PS2 days. So you know. That being said, that was like last year anyway, so it's like, no, PS4, so sorry, PS4, you don't get that one. Sorry. But my saves carry over, so, going forward. I mean, well, obviously it's the last season of Walking Dead. But my other stuff, that's like, go to carry over in the future. It's like, I can, all the choices I've made that aren't terrible, like Tropical when he shot that lady in the parking lot that one time in Walking Dead. I can carry over all those decisions and like be like, oh man, isn't that great? That one time it affects my story and it goes on. 'Cause that's the way those games work, and it's just a nice daisy chain of terribleness, and it just goes on. And I have to play the last game. I just take my decisions with me, but that's how those games work. But besides the whole backwards compatibility thing, I don't really think there's a lot that can be done really, because it's always going to be a different experience in the future, like what they're doing with the technology. So. I mean, I guess that's the other thing is like have all like I mean, yeah, um like I said, Universal Backwards can really like all your stuff works. So if I want to play like PlayStation VR game, I can just hook it up and do it, and like it works. So it's like it's just that stuff, like because it's always just annoying when you have like all this like after years of time, before I like went all digital, and I just like have like piles and piles of games and just like kill me because it's like I want to play
Mhm.
something, I have to hook it up, and just that's it. That's a whole issue. That's like a whole like is it compatible with the TVs, HDTVs, not HDTV? It's like so it's like a giant headache. I just like universal backwards compatibility. I think just solves all the problems, and then I can play everything, and then so everything's fine. And it's just like I can have the past and the present all in one. It's great. So no issues there. And I'll be like,
Actually, related to that, can they not do backwards compatibility because like it would be too expensive to make the hardware to have like everything in it, or is it just they're just
If it was a
refusing to do it?
priority, they could do it. Like, it wouldn't be free to make backwards compatibility, but it wouldn't. Uh, it's not. I don't think it's impossible because like people have been working on a PS2 emulator, like private people who don't have access to original PlayStation source code and all that stuff. Like they make they're trying to make a PS2 emulator that runs on a PC, and that hardware is basically sort of like what's inside the PS4. And the emulator doesn't work perfectly, but it like works more or less. So they could do it.
But like they can do it in the sense that they would just be able to add it as a software thing and then just let you play the games, or you would have to have like the hardware already inside of it for it to work.
I mean, hardware inside is probably the easiest, but it would cost more, I guess, to make the systems. So like the systems would cost more, but then like they could make a software version where you could just put the disc in and it would work. As far as I know, unless there was some sort of like hardware copy protection back in the day that I don't know of.
Is there?
Oh, I just realized something. I guess this PS4 does have share button going for it. That being said, I can still like use capture software for other stuff too. So it's like I could go and use it for like past stuff. It's not like I'm just like if I didn't have share button I couldn't do it. So it's just it's not a technical limitation.
Share button is pretty awesome though.
Yes, it is.
And if we had universal backwards compatibility, I could share button all the things. It'd be great.
Because now you don't have to hook up a bunch of different recorders and stuff to your console to do stuff. So it's like, that was fun. That was fun. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't not like this generation though. So it's not like, I don't know. For me, it's not like. I mean, it's up there in terms of greatness. I don't know. It's not.
I mean, like what would it take for this generation to surpass the PS2 for you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would come down to the games. Like it would. I guess if games came out that, I guess, made me have that feeling that I had when I played these other games back then it'll be there. It's like, because I mean we've already gotten like, I mean there's a lot of great stuff going on in this generation. So like I said, it's not like this generation isn't awesome already. It's just haven't gotten that feeling, like that. Like,
do you think that feeling can actually be replicated? Like, do you think it was the certain games, or do you think it was like, it's like that thing where people say the music you heard in high school is like the music that sort of defines you forever? I don't know if it was high school, but it's like the music that you heard at a point in your life is the music that defines you later on. Do you think that sort of that combination of who you were in that time can ever be replicated, or not replicated, but like, well, kind of replicated and surpassed?
See, it's weird, like, when you say it like that, because I'm thinking in my brain, like, all the games I played on PS2 that I'm like, oh man, that was awesome, because it's like, some of those games exist. Like, there is, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 versus, like, Grand Theft Auto 3, but there isn't, like, a new Burnout parallel to Burnout 3. So it's like, on the one hand, there's new stuff that's as good as it was, but on the other hand, we've got endangered species that have gone extinct and are no longer with us. Like, that's SSX3. That was, like, one of my favorites ever.
Well, they had Steep. Is that the name of that one?
That's not the same RPG. It's not the same.
Steep's not the same.
It's not the same, dude. Okay, 3 Peaks. You could go anywhere, and sweet music, and manuals in between your combos. It was like Tony Hawk on a skateboard. That's what it was. It was effing amazing. And effing yeah.
Tony Hawk on a snowboard, do you mean?
I said Tony Hawk.
I said on a snowboard.
Yeah, so
not a skateboard.
I said Tony Hawk on a snowboard. Didn't I? Whatever.
You said on
I
a
don't know.
skateboard,
I don't know what's wrong with taking
which
this.
is what Tony Hawk already
My
is.
brain is just, I don't know. I think, and I try to have thoughts, and it's just turbulence. Maybe it's like too much ready for that one. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Maybe I thought I said it. Whatever. But I guess that's the thing. Like, as I've been thinking about this, is like, there's like the old stuff I like that kind of we don't get anymore. But then like there's stuff like now, like Mass Effect Andromeda. It's like, there wasn't Mass Effect stuff back on PS2, but we've got sweet Mass Effect stuff now, and it's like, oh, it's pretty good. Like Telltale stuff, like all that stuff is like, new, awesome that wasn't around. But it's like, when's the last time there's a Katamari game where I could roll up a ball of a bunch of crap on PS4? Where's that game? Oh, actually, it's funny. Like, I just thought about like Amplitude. That came back. Like, there's Amplitude then. Amplitude's back. I mean, the Kickstarted. I got it. So, I mean, I guess we just don't have all the things because the consolidation of we must make money and profit for our shareholders from AAA publishers. I mean, yeah, there's indie games where some of those are.
Do you think there are more things now than there were, or do you think there was more things back then?
I think there's more things now, just because there's so much weird indie stuff.
Okay.
That and like we're always talking about like how there's like always stuff coming out all the time. But then I don't know because I mean I guess there is because like the spectrum is pretty much very similar and like the outlier stuff is like always gonna be like weird outlier stuff. So it's like kind of give and take on that. But it probably comes out even. I would say the where it's like the same if not more. Cause effing like late shift in the bunker like the FMB stuff that was gone for a while that wasn't around back then. I mean hopefully it's back. We'll see if we get more of that stuff because I did enjoy those games. Oh, but where's my DDR? Just saying, where's my effing DDR? It's gone. Rip DDR. I mean there's that one game that there was like I mean there's no pad for it. But there's like that one Konami Aero game DJ Max I think they just came out with. On PS4, so I haven't checked it out yet though.
Although don't get me wrong, I don't want a replay of the PS2 era. I just kind of want games that just make me feel like that again.
Yeah, it's like the
and
same
maybe it's just because I'm just older now, so things have changed. But I don't know. It's like there was like it's kind of hard to describe the feeling, but it's like it's kind of just like this feeling of I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
But was it like, oh, or is it like, oh?
Yeah, because it's kind of like this whole. It's like there was like this feeling of wonder mixed with like, and I don't know. It's like it was like a combination of so many things. There was just like anticipation and wonder and like joy and like all these things rolled up into a ball. And then it's like you didn't even want to sleep at night because you're just like, this game is so magical to me. And that like I want to feel that again. But I mean, my thing is, like I said, I'm older now, so it's probably not going to be as easy to get me to that point like it was before. But I haven't necessarily come across games that like I said, there have been some awesome games this generation, obviously, because I mean there was a lot of games I have enjoyed, but I haven't necessarily felt that thing.
I think it's a bit of both as far as like the whole age thing and like where I was at in my life like that, and then like the type like the frequency of releases, because I think like it felt like during the PS1 and PS2 era for sure that like JRPGs used to just like rain from the sky. And it seems like they have like slow to a trickle, or they're on handhelds, or they're just like not on the console hardware now. So it's like playing Nier last year and just like, oh man, Nier was such a breath of fresh air. Just like it was so Japanesey and so weird, and just like this is what I remember, just like enjoying games like this and like getting them all the time. And now I don't really get them as often, but man. And then I did get that other Zodiac Killer game, the RPG guy. I haven't played it, so I'm not sure how much it is like Tactics, but Toxic Tactics, man. And then Unsung Story is still out there, so it's like it could happen, but I've been waiting a long time. And that was on PS2, but I played it on PS2 because it was PS1, so it's backwards compatible. So that did that was all up in my glowy orange spot. So yeah, but yeah, I think it is also like as far as like where I was at in my life, as far as or like the whole music and age and like the music I liked then and why I was like liking it. But like it's like like Sly Cooper versus Last of Us. Or I guess I'm trying to think of like what's the last game I played like that's like The Last of Us that was like an M-rated, just like super in your face, just like super brutal sobering game like that. But I mean Batman Enemy Within season 2 is kind of like that, but then it's Telltale, so it's not as intense as far as the gameplay. So from for like a narrative side it is, but I think that's like another thing for me is like the games I play now versus then is like they're not as happy and whimsical, and like I was talking about last week with like the Nintendo thingy versus like the grounded reality stuff, which is I wanted to talk about in the news when we get to like the whole BAFTA thing, because I was like, yeah, they sided with Tekken because Tekken would give those awards to effing Hellblade and not effing Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. It's too whimsical. This is not the time we live in. Or that's just not the stuff I play anymore. So it's like
I mean, if anything, that should be a good thing. That I mean, like at the end of the day, it's like if anything, you should be happy that there's more whimsical and not super dark, considering how the timeline we live in right now. So it's like, and again, people have different tastes, and it's like, regardless of what awards a game gets or whatever, it's like you're gonna have your own preferences. But I like I said, I just think it just comes down to the person, not necessarily what. It's not just necessarily the games themselves. I mean, people change, and our taste and stuff change as well. So, but I still feel like eventually, I mean, the feeling I'm looking for will come, but it's one of those things where it's probably just going to be harder to do now since I'm all old and cynical. So,
See, for me, I think it's like it's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game. I don't think it really matters because I think it's just like for me, as far as like talking about like the whole like dark versus light and happy whimsical stuff and like the super sobering, make me want to drink myself to sleep stuff. It's like I think that's just the stuff I gravitate towards for some reason now versus. I mean, and I can play those games. 'Cause I'm like over 18, so I couldn't play emulated games back in the day. So that's the thing. I wasn't as old, so and like I already just said, like I'm old and cynical and whatever. So. So I think I just for some reason gravitate towards that stuff. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know. I guess time just broke Tekken down, and that's why it's hard out there for Tekken. Because he tries to keep going on with his like rainbow that he's chasing, but then it's just like he's in the troll village, and the trolls just like keep throwing rocks at him, and he's trying to get to the rainbow. You can never get to the rainbow to like see what's at the end. Is it a pot of gold? Is it a pot of gold? And they'll get to the end, and it'll probably be something bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna take out all the trolls. I'm sorry, that's a weird analogy. I couldn't think of anything else.
I just wanted to say,
that's I think
you kind of lost me.
Where am I right now in life? Is I'm just trying to chase rainbows, but I'm surrounded by trolls. And that's where I gravitate towards the games I gravitate towards. I mean, I still play the fun, fancy, whimsical games, but they just aren't as effective when you're out there every day and the trolls are trying to tear you down, and it's just like, so yeah.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was like watching anime or whatever over the weekend, and I was like, my taste have gotten kind of strange because I was like, now ever since, or because like certain types where it's like you'll see like these anime now that have like these cutesy like really cutesy like art styles and everything, but then they turn out to be like super dark, and it's like I kind of like this subgenre of anime, so it's like it's really weird. But I was like, oh, my tastes are strange. So it's like I don't know, man. It's the time we live in. It's the time we live in.
I guess what I think was amazing about that time was, yeah, there was the amazing games and then just sort of the variety that existed. And so just based on those two things, it feels like this could be the second coming of the PlayStation 2 type era.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say like if you look at like the first party stuff from Sony that we've been talking about, that is kind of more on like the dark and gritty side than on the rainbow unicorn side. As I was thinking about it, if you go down the list of stuff from them, I think it's just like an art style though, and like the like setting. I don't think it's like that's like what they're trying to do. It just happens to be that way. Which is when Nintendo's always able to just scoop it and be like, hey, we got happy family fun time games over here. Oh, some millions of copies. Oh, isn't it great? Oh, money there, more
That's how
money.
they get you, Tekken. That's how they get you.
Yep, because I'll be like, oh man, I just need Metroid. Super dark, awesome, or not dark, but super serious sci-fi adventures. And then it's like, oh, Octopath Traveler, that looks up my alley. That looks up my alley. Oh, Mario XCOM. I mean, a bit cartoony, whatever. You're still shooting things in the face with guns, though. It's turn-based. I like that. What was the fourth game? I can't think of the fourth and fifth game. Oh yeah, Mario Odyssey, because it's like my first love, Mario. You always be there for me, Mario. No matter how many times Nintendo tries to break us up, you always be there for me. And then I guess mystery fifth game, because I can't think of anything else. So still waiting, Nintendo. Still waiting. Balls in your court. Star Fox. It didn't work for Wii U, but it worked for Switch. 'Cause I knew
There's a lot of things that didn't work for the Wii
I
U.
could easily see that trap coming. And I guess it's also like the art style too, because that's a whole thing that they do is like their very cartoony side versus realistic 3D character models of the rain going down your face and looking so wet and realistic, and just look at the pores and the eyes and the hair and the lips and all the detail. It's so realistic. Oh. In HDR on your 4K TV. Oh.
Cool. All right.
I kind of had to do 2 weeks of Time Machine weekly.
We did
little
2
segments.
weeks of Time Machine in a row.
Yeah, where we like, what was your game that made you the gamer you are? And then it's like, Greatest Generation? No, PS2. PS2, man. It was so awesome.
But yeah, I mean, this generation is shaping up quite nicely, though. So, I mean, the next generation that comes after this has a tough act to follow.
I'm surprised, like, I've been browsing the store recently. I'm surprised that there are so many games that I've never heard of. But I look at them, it's like, huh, I am interested in that. And not just in a, like, I'm interested in everything kind of way. It's like, I'm actually more so than usual interested in that.
Like, you actually want to play it.
Well, I don't know if I can go that far, but
Oh,
yeah.
gosh. So then you're not that interested. You're just your usual interested.
All right. Well, I guess that's the middle segment for the week. 2 time travel in a row. Should we go for a third? Who knows? I don't make them up
Even
that far in
is.
advance. I have no idea. I guess we'll do news. News. All right, news. So I guess we can start off with that BAFTA thing that Tekken brought up earlier, where it was the British Academy Video Game Awards or something like that. It,
Something like that.
BAFTA Awards for short. Yeah, that was this week. What you need to know. Hellblade won the most awards for the night. They won our Best Artistic Achievement, Audio Achievement, Game Beyond Entertainment Award, and then they also got a Performance Award. The lady that played Senua won that, and it was pretty amazing. And I guess was it unexpected?
Yeah,
I
because
bet-
the last 2 years it was like everybody was gushing all over Overwatch and gushing all over Breath of the Wild, and that's kind of what won. And then it didn't win. I was like, oh, thank you, Euro team for
No.
holding it down for
Changing stuff.
those of us who are sane and not all like, oh, let's give it to the Nintendo I'm sorry, the Zelda game or the Overwatch game, which are also 2 cartoony games. That's why I'm always like, well, not always, but like,
Maybe that's what they needed, Tekken. Maybe that's what they needed. They needed something nice and cartoony.
Well, those 2 games also won awards. Overwatch won like Best Ongoing or something, and what was Breath of the Wild won. I think it was like Best Game Design or something like that. So, yeah, they didn't go home completely empty-handed. But yeah, it was surprising to see Hellblade get so many accolades. I was like, oh, cool. In addition to that, other winners, Horizon got Best Original Property.
Yay! Stabbing robot dinosaurs in the butt paid off.
Best game was What Remains of Edith Finch.
I did not play that.
I don't know. So that was, I guess, pretty surprising too. And then, I don't know if, Tegan, you've played this one, but since you're all about narrative now, Night in the Woods won
I've heard
Best
about it.
Narrative.
I keep seeing it in articles, but I haven't read any of the articles. Isn't that the one with like Sting in it? Or
Sting?
David Bowie or some dude that's like narrating it. Or some famous person.
Actually, I guess I don't know anything about it. All I know is that it looks kind of cutesy, but it's not like a cutesy game.
Like the anime I watch? Yes.
Maybe.
So I need to check this game out then. Because that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
So yeah, pretty interesting selection of awards. I was like, oh, cool. other stuff
I was
got
just happy
awards.
because on Golden Crosshairs, I was like, well, I didn't give any awards. I'm going to give it like one award. I don't think I gave any instead of giving it an honorable mention. I was like, well, check out Senua Hellblade Sacrifice. I think all these awards, I was like, yay, I can say it on the podcast. Oh, Take was right. Take was right.
Yay!
Were you though? If you only gave it an honorable mention, I
Hey,
mean,
man, Horizon Zero
'cause that
Dawn
means you felt it
Yeah.
wasn't good enough.
Horizon
All
Zero Dawn
listening to our
is,
podcast.
is its own league. I mean, okay, not an own league, but it's like it's a totally top of the list last year. All the games came out.
I might pick it up to check it out to see what the fuss was semi about.
Don't forget about
Uh,
the stealth section of 25 RPG where there's like no light and you can't see, and there's all the voices in your head making you feel like you're crazy, and you're like, oh man, I know where to go. It's great. It's great.
So basically, my everyday life.
Sure. Then something else we mentioned today, God of War is getting kind of ridiculous level reviews. The last time I saw someone tweet about it, it was now the second highest rated game on PlayStation 4.
What's the first?
I did not think to look. I guess that would be interesting to know. I have no idea.
Because I'm curious.
All I know is
Although-
that, yeah, I looked around and was like, oh my gosh, like God of War is getting ridiculous reviews. Everyone is praising how.
I saw the reviews drop early, and then I saw they're all like super high, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I like looked at one, and I was like, holy crap, the hype is real. I gotta refer to this game. So I
It's like
prepared it.
10. It's
It's
like
like-
better.
Yeah, I was like, that's a lot of 10 and like almost 10s. I should probably look at one of these. And I was like, clicked on it. I was like, oh, spoiler free? Okay, here we go. I was like, oh, I want to play this game now. I like really want to play this game now. So, yeah.
I think it was like, it's one of the rare games, I guess, that lived up to the hype. Because it was pretty anticipated. And then, yeah, just to see it get that kind of acclaim.
Yeah, and then, like,
Well, I
was just, like,
haven't read
gonna blow
any
it
of the
off.
reviews, but part of me wonders if it's because of the hype that it's gotten the reviews so high. Because it's like it's one of those things like because you kind of have to temper your expectations, especially if you hear everybody saying, "Oh my God, this is the best game ever," and then you play it and it's like, I mean, I guess it's good, but
Like, what was the there've definitely been plenty of games that were like so hyped that it was just impossible to meet. That when they came out, they didn't live up to the hype.
Arkham Knight.
I suppose like No Man's Sky, maybe.
Also Division. Man. I mean, not Division,
Although
but,
part of the thing with No Man's
Watch
Sky
Dogs.
though is that people were putting expectations that technically
Yeah,
didn't
I mean, I
exist
guess that
on
one's
that
like
one.
a
Like,
different case.
Watch
what
Dogs,
was-
from what it looked like, like, it didn't look like what it looked like. Switcheroo. Somewhat the
Well,
Division as well, because, like, I played the
I guess, like,
beta, and I was like, not what I was
Uncharted
expecting.
4? Did Uncharted 4 live up to, surpass the
I would
hype
say
that
it
was
did.
on
I would
that
say it
one?
lived up to
I
it.
mean, that one got rated highly too, didn't it? When it came out.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's just really crazy. So
I think that's
it's
the
like,
game that made me think of Ghost of Tsushima, because like after I like saw how high the scores are getting, I was like, that's a Sony first party game. Why am I not caring about this game? Because effing Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon. It's like there's like a pantheon now of like awesome first party Sony games. I should probably just keep on keeping on. And then they did have that whole thing about first party narrative story based stuff we're going to focus on at PSX, and I was like, okay. I'll support it. I don't want to be that guy
mean-
who doesn't support story stuff, and I'm all about story stuff.
I mean, it's possible you just weren't interested in the franchise. I mean, just because
What is
everyone
that to you?
else
'Cause I
is
haven't
like,
finished any of them.
say, just because everyone else is all like, "It's the best game ever," doesn't mean it's necessarily the best game for you.
Some
So
that was
it's
an
not.
interesting thing too.
So I'm not a
Like
fan
a
of
lot of the
stories.
reviews that I saw were people who weren't really God of War fans. They were just like, yeah, God of War it was a thing that exists. It didn't feel like it was for me, and then they played this one. I was like, oh my gosh, God of War is amazing.
Well, we'll see.
See, like the weird thing is
Because
like since I haven't played the old ones, I'm gonna go back and play them, and they're like not even gonna like
Mm,
compare. They're in like a completely different solar system.
yeah, totally different type of games.
it's like this isn't even the same. Kratos didn't have a son in any of these.
Why is he so angry?
Where's my boy? Where's my boy?
He's just
Why
so
am I so
bad.
mad? So yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting on Friday when it comes out finally. There was some sort of Sega event over the weekend, I think, where they announced first that there was gonna be a Genesis Mini that they're gonna release. They want to jump on the mini console, retro console thing. Although theirs is not, they're not making their own. It's the same company that made sort of their retro. Actually, I think there already is like a retro Mega Drive Genesis type system that you can buy, and the reviews for that one were not great. So, same company is going to be making this one. They say it's going to have better emulation and some other features that they haven't announced yet. So, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But the other one, which was what everyone, like Gamer, is probably extremely pumped about this. They're re-releasing, kind of remastering Shenmue 1 and 2 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I say kind of because that's what it is. I mean, I guess it's going to have options between modern and classic controls. It's going to have higher screen resolutions, and then you'll be able to choose between English and Japanese voice acting. It'll be on one, I don't know if it's one disc, but it'll be in one package in retail, and obviously it'll be on download too.
He was
So
happy
that's
about it.
exciting.
He tweeted about it with a swear word.
Fun. I'll leave you guys to guess which one it is. I don't even know either. But yeah, like Shenmue 3 is scheduled to come out this year at some point, so strike the money iron while it's hot.
Money iron.
There was a weird story at the beginning of our week after the podcast we did last week where after investigation, Twin Galaxies, the sort of group that keeps like records for video games, threw out all of Billy Mitchell's records after it was. They came to the conclusion that his tape that he submitted for King Kong back in the day, that showed him scoring the first like over a million points game, was not played on original arcade hardware. And they found this out because the load-in... It's not a load-in screen. It's just like the order in which assets loaded in was different than how it should be on actual arcade hardware. And it suggested that he played it on an emulator, and it's like, it's hard to say if he actually did it then, because, you know, with emulators you can do save points and you change the speed of the game and you can do all these different things, so it's like, it's hard to say if that's legit.
Basically,
And-
like juicing.
Yeah. Maybe, kind of. I mean, the thing is, like, they did not come to that conclusion that he cheated. They came to the conclusion that it was
He got an
invalid
asterisk.
because it wasn't on the original arcade hardware. And so he was actually, they took all the records. So he had like records in Pac-Man and stuff, and they just like threw all the records out. And he is banned from submitting scores to Twin Galaxies now.
Oh my.
And then Guinness Book of World Records, who uses Twin Galaxies for their video game records, also invalidated those records. And so he's just like the disgraced gamer. I know Tegan's probably seen it. King of Kong.
Yes, I'm hoping they make a sequel
Yeah.
about this.
He was like the villain in that movie. There was what was his name? Steve
Steve
Wiebe
Yeah, Steve Wiebe.
was like the hero who was trying to accomplish this thing in was it? It was Donkey Kong in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and like, so now he is the recognized as the first person to get 1,000,000 points in Donkey Kong.
Awkward.
It is insane. What was really insane, I actually saw Billy Mitchell this weekend.
I saw that
He
tweet.
he was there at the Gaming Classic.
You're like, I too walked by Billy Mitchell and didn't notice him.
Because I saw people saying like Billy Mitchell is here, and I was like, what? And everyone, I would say, hey Billy, I heard Billy Mitchell is here, and they're like, here? Of all places, he came to like the classic gaming convention after the week that has occurred. And I was walking down the hall, and then he walked by me, and I was like, now
Did you trip him?
the flesh as well. Well,
Like,
I'm
hey,
pretty sure
just
everywhere he
voice.
went, like there were people like in hushed tones.
This is
like,
for Steve Wiebe,
out
and he
the
tripped
thing.
him. Yeah, RPG.
Yeah.
Totally did.
Kayak.
I don't know that anyone actually confronted him. Well, so we were all wondering why he was there, and like when I came back, I saw on the news that he released a statement through Old School Gamer magazine or something, which is a magazine he's on the board of. Like they interviewed him, and basically he said, he basically says like, nope, this new management of Twin Galaxies is trying to like dredge up old things, and so we're gonna show them
I mean,
that everything
like
was
the
done
truth?
right. I don't know.
How
He
dare they?
He is going to prove his innocence somehow. Is his statement.
Wow,
So,
this is ballooned out of control, and I love it. Love it.
it was insane. Like he looks exactly the way that I thought he looked from only seeing the movie. It's like same clothes and everything, and the way that he carries himself, and it's just like it's crazy.
Wow, you look just as douchey as I expected you to. I mean,
It was weird. All right. Other news. So Capcom has released preliminary details on the next update to Monster Hunter World. 3.0 will introduce a new monster.
it's the golden ram dragon.
Kobe? I don't know. Kovutarov?
Kobe beef. Now his new name, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, it's the new monster. Apparently, like picks up minerals from the area on its body, so it's like covered in like metals and stuff.
Like that crab from Moana. Disney reference.
They're also introducing a new area, El Dorado. I think it was called the Caves of El Dorado, something like that.
The legendary city of gold. For those of you who don't know things, get good.
Yes. And then there's gonna be like, I guess it apparently drops random weapons or something like that.
Oh, the relic weapons, like from the old Monster Hunter days. So back in the day, when you were mining, you'd sometimes get like a rock. Now this rock would turn into a weapon, a random weapon, and sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll be the weapon you want. Sometimes you won't, and you'll have to be stuck with that. And they start off rusty, then you have to get a butt ton of materials to make them decent. Then they get all awesome, and then it's like, why have I been using anything else in my life? And then you have relic weapons.
Fun.
Enjoy. Because RMG and Desire Sensor says hello.
So there's going to be that. There's going to be new armor sets. There's going to be new Palico stuff. There's going to be
New
like
weapons.
The new armor set looks
armor
awesome.
decoration type. It's not decorations. I don't know. It's like a layer of armor that changes what your armor looks like.
Oh, the layered armors, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the original Origin thingy one.
They're also releasing the Samurai DLC armor that if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition with it.
I know you can buy it right now. It's really expensive. Are they releasing it for free? Like you
I don't
can
know,
earn it?
it was on the
Or-
Japanese thingy, so I'm not sure.
Oh. See that one?
Well, I know for the layered ones anyway, it's like I guess once completing the quest, you get a delivery quest that you can get the armor from. So at least that one you don't have to pay for.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
one.
just part of the event.
Cause I saw it and I was like, oh, new armor, and I was like, oh, that's just a samurai armor. I have that. Whatever.
They're also introducing some sort of sorting for investigations and decorations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
hopefully, like, I don't know if there's actually sorting for decorations. I know it said you can switch between it showing the name of the decoration or the skill of the decoration.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, okay, well, if you can do that, can we like put them in some sort of meaningful order then, please?
No, you cannot.
Oh well.
Thanks for
at least
asking.
you'll be able to do it with investigations, at least. And then, lots of bug fixes and stuff like that.
They also increased the drop rate stuff for the
like,
tempered monsters.
Tempered
So
stuff, yeah.
They did.
so enjoy actually being able to get the stuff you need now.
Wait. So like, are they going to make it worse or better?
No, they're making it better.
Okay.
It's like tier 2 will drop more, or can drop them now as rewards.
So like based
and
on
then
the
tier
threat
3
level, it increases the rate. So basically, try to fight the higher level tempered monsters, and you get a better chance of getting a butt ton of augmented stuff, and you don't have to worry about the desire sensor and praying to it every day, and hoping it screws you over, and then calls you names, and then tries to bring you back with it's like here's a little gift, and then you're like, oh, you really do care, and then it's just like ha ha ha, you fell for it, and then it just goes and runs you through the ringer all over again, because you know what, that's how relationships work. So yeah, welcome to Monster Hunter.
Did I have anything else? Well, okay, so finally, the I guess the spring digital event on PlayStation Store is about to begin. The current era, it used to be called like Spring Fever. There was like Launch Party, but the current era, this is the second one. It's called Totally Digital. It's a new digital release indie game that they're sort of highlighting every week. And if you pre-order them, you get up to 25% off. This will run between April 24th until May 22nd. So that's 5 games. And the games will be The Sword of Ditto, Guns of Icarus Alliance, Trailblazers, Laser League, and NBA Playgrounds 2.
Ooh, NBA Playgrounds 2. I saw the trailer for that.
Looks pretty good.
I hope they fixed it. Because man,
I hope they did, because I think they were pretty panicked after they released the first one, and they had to go fix it over time. Yeah, the Sword of Ditto is a compact action RPG that creates a unique adventure for each new hero of legend in the relentless fight against the evil Mormo. Enjoy a delightful but dangerous overworld, brave menacing dungeons, and improve your hero in a charming village during your quest to overcome the evil that plagues the island. Unleash the mystical Sword of Ditto and grab a co-op friend for an unforgettable adventure filled with delightful characters, extraordinary loot, and heroic battles.
Oh, this sounds adorable, which means it's going to be super dark.
Yay! Guns of Icarus Alliance is the ultimate team-based steampunk airship combat game,
Oh, this one.
where 6 factions vie for control of a world ravaged by machines. Become a pilot, engineer, or gunner in epic PvP and PvE airship battles, with 4 players manning each ship and up to 32 players in a match. Repair your ship's armor, gun down enemies, and deftly weave in and out of combat to dominate the skies in a variety of game modes and maps. In Guns of Icarus, you and your crew triumph or perish together. That sounds really cool. Was this part of the, like, that 6 indies on the stage thing back way back in the beginning?
I have no idea.
I feel like it was. Or was that a different airship game? Anyways. Trailblazers is an innovative, cooperative arcade racing game with groundbreaking on-track gameplay. Paint the track as you race to dynamically change the racing line, then boost on your color and work as a team to win. Racers who drive with extra flair and style will also amass skill points to blaze their way to victory. Trailblazers is the first ever second-to-second cooperative arcade racer. Experience the blistering high-speed action with up to 6 players online or locally via split screen. Does that mean 6 players split screen? I don't know. Laser League is light speed arcade multiplayer like nothing you've ever played before. Easy to pick up, difficult to put down. What starts as a simple test of reflexes soon becomes a strategic showdown with deep team tactics. Period. Battle for control of nodes that bathe the arena in deadly light. Use lasers, class abilities, powers, and teamwork to dominate the pitch and eliminate the opposition. Evade rival color beams and fry your opponents with speed, strength, and strategy. And then finally, NBA Playgrounds 2 takes street balling to the next level with a host of new additions and improvements, including a new season mode and a new Playgrounds Championship ranked mode. This robust follow-up to last year's high-flying arcade action also features a massive roster of over 200 retired and current NBA players with new player models and animations. There's even improved online matchmaking with dedicated servers, new playgrounds, custom matches, and more. So, yes, they are addressing the things, or so they say. So that's starting up next week, and then currently there's like another giant sale. It's like less interesting news now when there's a sale on PSN. It used to be like, oh, there's a sale, and now it's like,
Yeah, there was a flash sale for Friday the 13th, and I got
all the
Inpatient
time
for super cheap.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I missed it. Darn. Oh well. But yeah, this is one of those double discounts for PS Plus members sales. So it's up to 30% for regulars users and 60% off for Plus members. I know there's a ton of stuff in there. But yeah, like I said, it's less interesting now because it's kind of like there's always a sale of some sort. And that's the news I have. Was there other stuff?
Well, you didn't really detail the siege mode against the new Elder Dragon, where you
Oh,
can play
that's
with
right.
16 people. Oh my gosh, or well, 15 other people, 16 people total. Pretty awesome. Can't do that in Disney.
Well, so it's not like everyone is together though.
Tropical,
It's still teams of 4.
tropical, like that, like that matters. Like that matters. It's still like everyone together. Everyone choose more. It's like 16 hunter throwdown on a monster. Like that's pretty cool. I mean, it is kind of like that Resident Evil 6 style, where it's like you might be playing with someone, but you never know it 'cause you don't see them. So whatever. But still better than nothing. So. Or the Prestige raid there that's not in the game yet. So, nice distraction from that. Oh wait, that was a thing. Warmind. That came out.
Oh, we want to do Destiny stuff?
We don't.
Okay,
We
sure.
don't have to. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that was like a thing.
Yeah, Destiny is like, stuff didn't really change, and then they did a few little things, and then now they're gonna do, well, they announced their next expansion, paid for thing, Warmind. And then I guess the big thing about that is in the past, DLCs were single player or like PvE stuff and then PvP stuff. Now the PvP stuff will just all be free. So you will no longer have to choose whether you want to play on the old maps or the new maps to get like a better or like faster matchmaking or whatever, because everyone will have all of the maps.
Because we all cared about PvP so much. Thanks to everybody out there for being a crybaby and complaining about it. Because that's really what we wanted was free PvP.
You guys did it.
Expansion. Mission accomplished.
We got it. Yeah.
Way to stick to your guns, Bungie. Way to stick to your guns. I mean, I'm sure shareholders are really happy about that and all the money that they're making off all, or Activision. I mean, because you're independent and you're just in the 10-year contract. I'm sure when it's over, it'll be great to just go back to being independent, doing whatever you want. Fun time.
So yeah, new stuff is coming to Destiny, and other fixes are on the way that sound like they will make the game more like Destiny 1 was near the end. I don't know
most
what's
ironic
happening
thing
there.
about this is like it was before everybody got to the end game. Everybody was like, "Oh man, Destiny 2 is so great, it's so fun, blah blah blah." Then you hit the end game, and it's like, "This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. What, Bungie? Rage." And then Bungie's like, "Oh man, dude," and we just had like 6 months of silence. It was just like, "What are they doing? What are they doing?" And they're like, "Here we got a roadmap." And it's like, how long is it gonna take? And you look at it like, oh, May, what? It's just like, and that's why nobody's been playing this effing game for like, however long on the podcast. It's like, yep, we're just waiting because Bungie broke their game. Because they're like, let's make it more like Destiny 1, which is like the whole rant I went on weeks ago about thanks for making it like Destiny 1, because nobody asked for that. But hey, here we are. I guess whatever. Maybe they'll turn around, maybe they won't. Who knows? I just know I won't be battling DLCs after DLC 2 because I'll be free again. I mean, it's been nice, Monster Hunter. It's opened my eyes to what I've been missing all these long years of suffering on the struggle bus of Destiny. It's like, oh, I could just been playing my games, having fun, making progress. Instead, I've been grinding my bleep larps off, or just I guess not off because that's not how that worked. They're still there, but my bleep larps have been grinded down to. I can barely appreciate the grind anymore until Monster Hunter was like, here, Tekken, enjoy the grind. I was like, I don't know, man, I've been grinding a lot. I don't know, Monster Hunter was like, and I started grinding, I was like, oh, Monster Hunter World, this is great. Oh my, Monster Hunter World, oh yeah, this grind is, I haven't grinded like this in a long time. It's amazing. I don't want to stop. It's like, you don't have to stop, Tekken. Well, we'll just keep giving you new content every week, maybe every month, but we'll keep giving you new stuff to come back to. It'll all be free. I was like, free? I was like, oh, well, Monster Hunter World, I will just kick this corpse out of bed. Get out of here, Bungie, and just lay next to me. Let's have fun time grinding together. Yes, more of this. Yes. And a new happy relationship was born, and it wasn't toxic or love-hate or terrible like the other game. I'm not going to talk about it anymore on the podcast this week. It was great. Monster Hunter World. Can't say enough about it. It's the best. It's the best. Best.
Cool. Yeah, this isn't really news, but it was an interesting article I read where Eurogamer, I forget who was writing about, is sort of the loot crate microtransaction thing kind of dying because we've had a ton of high-profile games like step back from their microtransaction plans, and now it's sort of games are using no microtransactions as like a quick PR win. It's like a cheap PR win Like for God of War, it was like, oh, there's no. It was like, are there microtransactions? It's like, no. And Spider-Man is like, are there microtransactions? It's like, no. Like, And yeah, obviously the big one was like Star Wars Battlefront 2, but they didn't start it. They were just like the one that broke the bubble, I guess. I don't know. And then there was just all this news about, oh, now this one, now they're ditching it, and now these guys are ditching it, and so kind of interesting. Is it gone?
It's
Or is it
not.
gonna be? Is it gonna come back?
It is not.
When the big publishers have their games, because they're not really releasing their games right now. They're gonna do it in the fall. Is it gonna be back for those, or is it gonna be something else?
Oh
Something-
man, that's
something
that's the thing.
bad.
It's like yeah, you might have won on microtransactions for now, but it's like what's the thing that's gonna come that's like worse? That you're like, oh man, we won the battle. It's like no, this is a war, and you won one skirmish. There's something worse coming. Trust me.
I wonder if it's just gonna be straight up like Activision's gonna announce, yeah, it's coming out at $80 is the retail price.
Man, that'd be. I mean, that
Because
would
that's
be
what they did back in the day. Like there was just one day where it's like, yep, this game is going to be $60, and then all the publishers were like, all right, I guess $60 is the new price point.
Yeah. Also, to go back to the middle segment of like what used to be so great in the not now time is like the greatest hits lineup of like $20 games. What's up with that? Where's my greatest hits? Where's my platinum hits? Sony PlayStation. What the f is up with that? Or my Nintendo Selects, but that's been like it's only been out for like a year, so Switch, you got some time to work on that. So yeah, I'm just saying, Sony and Microsoft, I didn't forget. Thought you forgot. I didn't forget. So yeah, what's up with that? Yeah. But that would be really crazy if that was it was if they were just like, you know what, we tried to help you guys out, and like just make a bit off of you, and like the rest of you would have to suffer, but not really because it wasn't pay to win. And then now you had to do this, and we still gotta make our shareholders happy. So now what we're gonna do? MSRP, it's going up. $20, motherfuckers. $80. You're gonna shell it out, and that's all you're gonna do. And then no, we're not gonna drop our prices 6 months after launch. It's gonna be 12 months minimum. So have fun waiting a year before you can get your game cheaper than 80. Ha 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 ha. Joke's on you. Suck it. Yeah.
I will miss today then. I will miss microtransactions
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
that
But
I
would
wasn't
be-
paying
yeah,
for.
I would definitely be surprised if that was a thing, but I guess we'll see.
All right. Well, that's the news I had.
Alrighty. Anything to say or check us out, aimlesspodcast.com, aimlessbabblez on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever else on the internet that you find us, or maybe find something better that it looks like that's noticed. Oh, good for them. Anything to say before I sign off, RPG?
No.
Anything anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Wow, God of War Ascension's multiplayer is still online.
You're welcome, I guess.
Alright, well, that is it for this episode of Aimless Babble Z. Monster World's awesome. Yeah. I would like to play some Black Panther, but Marvel hasn't made a Black Panther game. I'm still gonna complain about it. So I'm still jonesing. So I just want to be T'Challa and like take down dudes like Batman Arkham Knight, and like it's not good enough to pertain anymore. I have needs. Okay, Disney, Marvel, someone out there, get on it. Seriously. But yeah, until you see or hear from us again, and this Babble Z, and we're now signing off. Wakanda forever.